In the rugged expanse of Dartmoor, near the village of Bridestowe, lies Burleigh Camp, an ancient hill fort, its earthworks worn smooth by centuries of wind and rain, its stones cloaked in lichen and secrecy. Ringed by gnarled oaks and swept by the restless moorland gales, the camp has stood since the Iron Age, a sentinel overlooking the rolling hills of Devon. Yet for all its timeless grandeur, Burleigh Camp carries a shadow darker than the storms that lash its slopes, a shadow cast by the ghost of Squire Bidlake, a spectral figure whose name alone once struck fear into the hearts of local children, wielded by exasperated mothers as a threat to quell mischief. The origins of Squire Bidlake's haunting are murky, lost to the vagaries of oral tradition, though the tale likely stretches back to the 1600s, when the Bidlake family held sway over Bridestowe's lands. Squire Gideon Bidlake, as the story names him, was a man of wealth and temper, his manor a stone's throw from the Hillfort. Known for his iron fist and unyielding pride, he ruled his tenants with a severity that bordered on cruelty, evicting families for late rents, flogging poachers caught on his estate, and brooking no defiance. Some whispered he'd dabbled in darker dealings, pacts made under moonless skies to secure his fortune, though none dared speak such things aloud while he lived. His death, in 1627, was sudden and unexplained, found slumped in his saddle one frostbitten morning near Burleigh Camp, his face frozen in a grimace, as if he'd seen the devil himself come to collect a debt. But death did not end Squire Bidlake's hold on Bridestowe. By the 1650s, villagers began to speak of strange happenings at Burleigh Camp. Shepherds tending flocks nearby reported glimpses of a tall, gaunt figure clad in the high-collared doublet of a bygone century, his face obscured by a tricorn hat, pacing the ramparts at twilight. His presence was marked by a chill that seeped into the bones and a faint, metallic temps on the wind, like blood or old coins. Those who ventured too close heard the crack of a whip or the low growl of a voice muttering oaths, though the words were lost to the moorland gusts. The sightings were rare but persistent, and soon Squire Bidlake's ghost became a fixture in local lore, a restless spirit bound to the camp for reasons no one could fathom, though some whispered it was punishment for his cruelties in life, or a tether to unfinished business buried deep in Dartmoor soil. By the 1700s, Squire Bidlake's name had woven itself into the fabric of Bridestowe's daily life, particularly among mothers wary of unruly children. "Be good, or Squire Bidlake'll come for you," they'd warn, pointing toward Burleigh Camp's silhouette against the sky. The threat carried weight. Tales of the squire's ghost had grown fearsome with time. Old Joan Spry, a washerwoman who claimed a sighting in 1743, swore she'd seen him atop the Hillfort, whip in hand, his eyes glowing like embers as he stared down at her laundry basket. She fled, leaving her linens behind, and the next day found them torn to shreds. No beast's work, she insisted, but the squire's spite. Children grew up with the image of Bidlake as a boogeyman, a spectral disciplinarian who'd snatch naughty souls and dragged them to the camp's ancient depths. One chilling encounter came in 1798, when a young lad named Neddy Prowse, known for pilfering apples from neighbours' orchards, dared his mates to spend a night at Burleigh Camp on All Hallows Eve. Armed with bravado and a stolen bottle of cider, Neddy climbed the ramparts alone after his friends balked at the last minute. The night was still, the stars sharp as knives, when he heard it, a slow, deliberate tread circling the Hillfort, the snap of a whip cutting through the silence. Neddy froze, cider bottle slipping from his hand. As a shadow loomed against the moonlit sky, Squire Bidlake, tricorn hat tilted low, his doublet black as pitch, a coiled whip dangling from his gloved hand. Thive and whelp, the figure growled, voice like gravel, and Neddy bolted, tumbling down the slope in his panic. He swore later that he'd felt the sting of the whip graze his neck, though no mark remained, a warning, he reckoned, from beyond the grave. Word of his tale spread, and for months after, Bridestowe children were models of obedience, their mothers nodding grimly as they pointed to the camp. The 19th century saw fewer sightings, as modernity crept into Dartmoor and the old fears softened into folklore, but Squire Bidlake's presence lingered. In 1865, a surveyor mapping the Hillfort reported an odd sensation of being watched, and later found his tools scattered across the site, though no one had been near. By the early 1900s, the threat of Squire Bidlake had become more fable than fear, though Bridestowe grandparents still used it to coax good behaviour from their young ones. "Don't stray near Burleigh Camp after dark," they'd say, or "Old Bidlake'll have the—" Today, Burleigh Camp stands as it always has, its earthworks a quiet testament to ages past, its solitude broken only by the occasional hiker or archaeologist. The reasons for Squire Bidlake's haunting remain unknown. Some still mutter of infernal pacts or unatoned sins. But his name endures in Bridestowe, a ghostly echo of a man whose stern spirit refuses to fade. And on moonless nights, when the wind howls across the moor, locals glance toward the Hillfort with a flicker of unease, half expecting to hear the snap of a whip or see a tricorn hat silhouetted against the stars, still keeping watch over Burleigh Camp's ancient slopes. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, follow, subscribe, and comment below.